this video we will see recurrence relations. See, in the previous videos we have seen how to calculate complexity of an algorithm using frequency counts. That is, we will be calculating or summing up the frequencies of execution of various statements in the program, and we will define the complexity of that algorithm using a suitable asymptotic notation. We have seen all that in the previous videos. So when the algorithm is recursive, it's very difficult to find the frequency count. So we will be using recurrence relations to find out the complexity of the algorithm instead of frequency counts. So in case of recursive algorithms, we will be using recurrence relation to find out the complexity of an algorithm. Instead of frequency count, we will be using this method. So finding out complexity of an algorithm using recurrence relations is quite easy. So I'll show you a few examples here in this video as to how to calculate the recurrence relation for various recursive algorithms. So here goes the first example. Let the program be some algorithm named ASM. These are the parameters to the algorithm, and the algorithm, let it be like this: if n less than or equal to 0, return 0, else return a of n plus r sum of a of n minus 1. Okay. A sum of a comma n minus 1, sorry. A sum of, because that's a symmetry given, a comma n minus 1. So if this is the algorithm, you know that it is recursive because inside the algorithm we are calling this very same function again, isn't it? So ASM is being called from this point, so definitely this algorithm is recursive one. So we will see how to define the recurrence relation. Okay. So see, we can write the time taken when the input size is n. T of n is equal to, see, if n less than or equal to 0, all you need to execute is these two statements, isn't it? Have to check whether n is less than or equal to 0, plus if n is less than or equal to 0, you have to return 0. So you have to do two steps. So 2 is the time taken for the algorithm, 2 units of time is required if n is less than or equal to 0, isn't it? When n is not less than or equal to 0, again you have to execute this step. Then only you can come to know whether n is less than or equal to 0 or even greater than that. So this step is mandatory, then only you can decide the range of n. So this is required. Now you have this return statement. So for executing this condition checking and this return statement, you need 2 units of time, plus you have to invoke sum of the same function with the parameters a comma n minus 1, isn't it? Obviously the meaning is that you have to execute sum n minus 1 more times. So we are writing it as t of n minus 1. We are not enrolling it completely. We are simply writing that to execute t of n, the time required for for executing this program with n units is 2 plus time required for executing n minus 1 iteration of this program, isn't it? That is, when we are expanding t of n minus 1, you will get 2 plus t of n minus 2 here, because for each iteration you require these two steps plus n minus 1th iteration of the algorithm again and again, isn't it? So if we are thinking about speaking in a very general format, the time required for the program with input size n is 2 plus the time required for the program with input size n minus 1, isn't it? So that is when n is greater than 0. So this is how you define the time taken for this algorithm. Now these equations can be solved using different methods known as, you can choose the iterative approach, or you can even use the recursion tree method and all. So we will see all those methods in the coming videos. So for the time being, please to understand that this is the recurrence relation for this algorithm. Okay. Now we will see a few more examples. So here is the algorithm for Fibonacci series. Now we will as this recursive algorithm, see the same algorithm is being called from these 2 points. So this is definitely a recursive algorithm. Now we will see how we can find out the recurrence relation for this particular algorithm. See, as we have done in the previous example, let T of n be the time taken for this algorithm when the input size is n. So T of n is equal to, see, if A is equal to 0 or A is equal to 1, the time taken is, for this comparison you need 1 unit of time, for this comparison you need 1 more unit of time, and for this return function you need another 1 unit of time. So 3 units of time if A is equal to 0 or A is equal to 1, isn't it? Now if A is not equal to 0 or 1, again you have to do these 2 computations, then only you can decide that A is greater than 1, isn't it? So 2 units of time definitely for carrying out these 2 comparisons, plus 1 for this return statement. So 3 plus, now this is recursion being called from this point with, if we are generalizing A to n minus 1 parameters. So we need the time for executing that. Again at this point recursion is being called with n minus 2 parameters, isn't it? So time to execute T of n minus 2. So this is when if A is greater than 1. So this is how we can define the recurrence relation for this particular algorithm for Fibonacci series. Okay, so this approach of writing down the recursive relation is pretty straightforward. You just count the number of operations or number of operations required for carrying out each and every statement. Here 1, 2 and 3 when A is equal to 0 or A is equal to 1, else return. So even if A is not 0 not 1, you have to carry out this statements to ensure that A is neither 0 nor 1. Then so the time required for execution of these 2 statements plus the time needed for return, that is our test 3. Now to call fib of A minus 1, we are generalizing A to n. So to call fib of A minus 1, T of n minus 1 time. To call fib of n minus 2, T of n minus 2 time. So this is how we find out the recurrence relation for this one. Okay. Now we will see one more example, the very typical example for recursion, the merge sort. So here is the algorithm for merge sort. If you don't know, I will give you a brief idea of this. So algorithm merge sort A, here A is the array that we want to sort. Low is the lowest index of the array, usually 0. High is the highest index of the array, meaning the total number of elements present in the array. So if low greater than high, return. This is the stopping condition for recursion. So else we are finding some midpoint, low plus I divided by 2. Now merge sort A comma low comma mid. We are sorting all the elements till the middle point. Now merge sort A comma mid plus 1 comma high. That is, we are sorting the second half of array. We are sorting the first half of array here. We are sorting the second half of the array here. That is from middle to high, the second half of the array. Now we are merging the whole elements. Okay. So when we analyze the complexity, again I am writing T of n, considering an array with n elements. So T of n, see when low is greater than or equal to high, this is simply written. So you just have to perform 2 operations here. So 2, that is, you just have one element here, that low greater than or equal to high happen when there is exactly one element. So when n is equal to 1, it is 2, and when n is not equal to 1, you have to carry out this operation definitely. Then you have to carry out this operation. Again, as I have told in the video for finding out complexity, you can avoid constants if required. Okay, no issues with that. Constant terms. So here the major three operations are these three operations. See, I am simply avoiding the constant terms because in terms of complexity analysis, these these constant terms like this doesn't make much difference. So these are the three important operations in merge sort. That is merge sort A, low, mid. You have to sort the first half of the array. So the time required is T of n by 2. That is, you are sorting half of the array. Merge sort A, mid plus 1, high. You are sorting the second half of the array. So you will require n by 2 units of time because you are taking half of the array there. Now you are merging the whole array. So the time required will be n. Okay. If n greater than 1. So if I am rearranging this, you can write it as T of n is equal to 2 if n is equal to 1. You can even avoid that. Then otherwise it is 2T of n by 2 plus, see, it is not T of n, simply n units of time, because for merging, this is not a recursive algorithm. Merging part is not recursive. You simply have to merge the array element. So it is not T of n, it is simply n. Okay, when n greater than 1. So this is the recurrence relation for merge sort. So hope you understood what exactly is the recurrence relation. This is actually a relation which help you to find out the complexity of an algorithm. Now, having obtained this recurrence relation, you have to solve the recurrence relation. For that, we have methods like iterative approach, then recursion tree method, Master's theorem and all. So, all these methods are really easy and we will see them in the coming videos. Hope you understood the concept of recurrence relations. Thank you.